And hi, everyone. It's Mitch from PickDogs.com. I'm back here with the Puck Dogs. What a great spread knowledge show we had today with Charles from Spread Knowledge. I asked him the tough questions, right? And we'll have him back again. We'll ask plenty more of the tough questions of him. And, I think overall, the Spread Knowledge experience, right, has been phenomenal. 52, 26, and 2 in just our show picks. And it's really 53, 26, and 2. I mean, who are we kidding? But we're not going to, if anything, we're going to cut ourselves short on that stuff. But, guys, it was a pretty... We're in conference play. I mean, in college hoops, right? We are in conference play. These games are getting tough. I mean, they are tough. Providence, Ed Cooley. I mean, do you want to face this guy at Providence, with anybody, right now? I mean,
No.
at Creighton, I think Creighton thought they had him. I think they thought they had him. It was like they had him, right? They came out, they were gangbusters. People are killing me in the YouTube comments, right? They're not even out of the first 10 minutes. People are just clobbering me in the YouTube comments. And then all of a sudden, Providence decided, that's it. And how about that Butler-Villanova game? I mean, even if you don't like basketball, right? If you just like sports and you don't like basketball, you don't like college basketball, that Villanova-Butler game was better than 90% of the March Madness NCAA tournament games you'll ever see. I mean, Villanova hitting the threes down the stretch, to get back in the game. And the game, they fell behind by 10 points at one point. And then, you got a 2.5-point spread, and Butler, instead of just going for, the guys over the 2-point, over the inside the 3-point line, he steps back and then hits the 3 for the game winner. I mean, it was just craziness, right? I mean, it was like, if either of those two teams are in the Final Four, are we surprised? It's like, would it be a shocker? I think to the general public who will fill out the brackets on March 16th at their office, I think a lot of those people might be surprised, but I don't think we're going to be too surprised. I think teams like Seton Hall, teams like Butler, teams like Villanova, all those teams have a legitimate shot, legitimate shot at Final Four. Not saying like dark horse, like a crazy set of circumstances. I'm saying these are real teams, like good teams. I could see Butler beating Kansas on any day, man. I think those two teams play 10 games. It's 5-5. The same thing with Baylor. Butler. I mean, they played. It was a 1-point game. So I mean, Villanova. They don't look anything like that team that lost to Ohio State earlier this season. They don't look anything like that. Man,
No.
this, like, a lot of people, they don't watch college hoops until after football season ends, and now that we're after the Super Bowl. If they started watching it last night and started with that Villanova-Butler game, and it's like they're into it now, right? They are into it.
Yep.
But,
I think the one thing that kind of caught me off last night was how Iowa didn't even get off the bus against Purdue.
Oh man, another Big Ten bustorama, right? It was like
I was watching the first half of that game, and anything that Purdue put up was going in, like anything. And I mean, you can't fault them for it. Sometimes the shots are just falling.
Purdue is going to happen, and how about Florida rallying against Georgia? I mean, they were down by 15 at the half, and they rallied. Yeah. They won by 6. I mean, they didn't win, right? As far as we're concerned, right? We had Georgia, they won, right? But Florida won if you're a fan, But for us, it was all Georgia. Right? It's like for our purposes, right? And,
I was watching that Villanova Butler game, and I was saying the same thing. I mean, this is fantastic. I also think that I would not be upset to see a 7-game series between Utah and Denver after watching that game last night. That was fantastic.
How about Wisconsin? Do you think that loss in Minnesota knocks them out of the tournament?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. You think it does?
I think it does. I think you got to start looking at the big picture. You know? And it's like, it wasn't competitive. There was nothing about that game that was competitive. It was 45-32 at the half, and then it finished 70-52. They won by almost 20.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that could knock them out just based on that. Well, not based on that alone, but that could be a big contributing factor as to why they wouldn't make it.
And of course, the big upset, the reason why they play the games, Vandy 99-90 over LSU. There was so much scoring in that game, you would think we had a consensus on the under or something. It was like it was
almost like it's like you say. I think somebody from Vandy watched.
Yeah, it's like they have that weird court at Vandy where it's like above ground, and then the guys are like below the court, right? It's like this weird thing, you know.
Is it also where they're at? Like the benches are at the end line.
Yeah, they're underneath though. They're like below the court.
Yeah, I only remember Vandy's benches being like the benches being at like either end of the court. I never knew they were.
You have to walk up. You walk up the stairs to get on the court. It's like what the.
I remember seeing that in the Final Four, but I never ever remember seeing it in a Vandy game.
Yeah, but it's always like that in Vandy. It's always like that in Vandy. Anyway, speaking about Vandy, let's get to this NHL card. We got a gigantic card today. It is 14 games? 12 games? 12 games. So let's do it 4 at a time. Buffalo, Detroit. Montreal, Anaheim. Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh. And then the only game with a reasonable line here, Florida versus Vegas. Any upsets here? Anything that's looking? I like Florida against Vegas, but out of those. But anyone else there like anything else besides that? Or do you hate that pick?
I like that pick. Give me Florida over Vegas here. Florida
it's a bad spot for Vegas, right? Like having to travel all the way across the country. They're playing terrible.
Last game of their 8-game road trip. Florida at home is just beast at home. They're 7-1 straight up. Their last 8 at home. They've been a great home team this year. Give me Florida.
How about Pittsburgh as a plus 150 dog here though at Tampa?
Yeah, I had Pittsburgh as well. That's just Tampa Bay is racking up the wins, but Pittsburgh's playing well in their own right, and that's just too much value for me to pass on.
Yeah, what do you think of the Buffalo Sabres? How well do you sleep at night putting a couple bucks on the Buffalo Sabres at minus 210 against anybody? Is that just an outright avoid?
Not. I don't feel well, but I feel well when it's against Detroit. Detroit. I think they're on their way to their third 10-game losing streak of the season. That's just they're bad. Buffalo got shellacked at home by Colorado. I was wrong about that game, but I think that they're a better home team than Detroit is overall. So I'll take Buffalo on the puck line against Detroit if I had to pick that game.
Well, yeah, for me, the Avs are just a different beast. So Buffalo, they did get shellacked, but they're not going to get shellacked today. Give me Buffalo. Got Buffalo. I think Buffalo on the puck line. I think they can win by a couple.
We got the Milwaukee Bucks hosting the Philadelphia 76ers, and Joel Embiid says the Sixers need more options on offense. And they made some trades. The trade deadline, things are whizzing around here. A lot of these are flying under the radar, but there have been some pretty big trades here. So we have this game between the Bucks and the Sixers, and then we also have this Rockets-Lakers game where the Rockets have decided to go to small ball, and they traded Capella. They have 2 big men, but they're not getting on the court these days. They're going with the smallest lineups by an NBA team since the 60s, the Rockets, and they're winning with it.
Yeah.
They figured out that with Capella off the court and not playing, they were like 10-1. And all of a sudden they're like, well, why don't we just continue to do that? So that's what they're doing. So any thoughts on those two or any of these other NBA games? We do have a Knicks game tonight too.
Give me the Bucks. My best bet of the day. I think the Bucks win by 20. This is a revenge spot. The 76ers beat them last game by like 12, I think. The Bucks have had this circled on the calendar for a while. They're coming in here and they're going to rock them. Give me Bucks minus 8.5.
You like anything else on this NBA card?
The what?
You like anything else here? We got 5 games today. Any other NBA games lighted up for you?
Yeah, I like all 5. Give me the Pelicans minus 4.5. I'm not. I think they could go in Chicago and get a win there. I like Portland over the Spurs. I think Portland bounces back after their loss. In Portland, I think we're going to go over. We're going to see some points there. And give me Orlando over the Knicks. And I'm going to take the Lakers. Give me the Lakers minus 7.5.
Rod going with all 5 favorites in the NBA tonight.
Yep.
Right. Chris, you like any of these NBA games? What do you think of the Bucks 6?
Pulling a page out of my book, going all favorites.
I know, right?
Now, I also, the only game I had marked down for today was that Milwaukee game. I like Milwaukee minus 9 as well. Got to remember that the revenge spot that Rod's talking about, that was a game on Christmas Day, so that was a marquee game. So everybody saw Milwaukee kind of get pantsed a little bit. So I'll lay the 9 points with Milwaukee here. I think they win by at least 15. Philly's terrible on the road. So
now 8.5. It's coming down. Money must be coming in on the 76ers.
So we got Islanders Kings, Flyers Devils, Senators Avalanche, and Blues Jets. And once again, not one of these games have, odds that I'm just like, oh, well, this is right in my wheelhouse, These are ones that are way outside of my wheelhouse. Are we just at that point in the NHL season after the All-Star break where the cream is rising to the top and they're playing it's a bad team against good team situations here?
I think it's just the way that the schedule shaped out tonight. You just have a bunch of good teams against some bad teams, and that's why I went all 4 of those games. I went favorites on the puck line. I went Islanders, Flyers, Avalanche, and St. Louis all on the puck line. I think it's just going to be a night where, you see the heavy favorites come rolling in and win by a couple in each of those games.
So freshman enterprises or entertainment, or I'm not really sure what it is, wants to know why we don't do Vermont games anymore. And I do Vermont games. They're just not the team for me that they were last season. That's the only difference. Last year Vermont was kind of our team, and we've had teams like this throughout the years on the different shows I've done and the different sites I've been on. And we have different teams every year. It's usually not the same team year after year. Normally we rotate. So this year we've had a few different teams. We've had Quinnipiac. Austin P has been one of my teams. They're playing tonight. I love Austin P tonight again. We have these teams every year. In the NBA, one year it was the Nets for me. One year it was the Sixers when they were going through the process. I mean, when they were going through the process and had that 8-win season, they were cover machines. And so were the Nets when, in the I think it was in the Paul Pierce aftermath, they were cover machines. So it was the year that the Cavs had the Nets pick, whatever year that was, a couple of years ago, and everyone thought it was going to be the number 1 overall pick, and it wasn't, because the Nets, they were our team then. So we always have that, we always have teams like that. We still like Vermont, they still have a place in our heart, we if Vermont's bettable, believe me, I got no problem betting on Vermont. But this year, it's more been Quinnipiac, Austin P, and a few other teams like that. So anyways, I cut you guys off. Go ahead.
I'm exactly the same on all 4 of those. Give me the Islanders on the puck line. The Flyers, I'm going to go minus 2.5. I think they throttle Jersey tonight. Avs on the puck line, Blues on the puck line.
So Rod is on a favorite train today. He's woke up on the favorite side of the bed.
I think so.
We're gonna change his name to the Chalk Dog. Anyways,
Yeah, it's scary because I'm looking at the college hoops and it's all I like the favorites there.
So, anyways, let's look at some college hoops, and like we already talked about yesterday, which really has defined, what conference play is. When you see Vandy putting up 99 on a red-hot LSU team, kind of you see it all. And then tonight is just a totally different card, right? There's a few good games, Cincinnati, Wichita, which have some appeal to them. But most of these games are kind of like, these are the grinder games, right? These are the games for the guys that either follow teams. Tonight's card is for people that follow a specific team in one of these conferences, like the Big Sky, the Atlantic Sun, the Sun Belt, the Colonial, right? It's people that follow these Big West Coast Conference. It's either for people that follow teams in those conferences or people like us that'll bet on anything. So what on this board, because it is a big board, and this is a bettor's card. This is a bettor's card. So, Chris, how many games you got for tonight? I got a bunch in the premiums. A bunch. I tell you what, I could have easily gone double that amount, easily.
Yeah, I'm keyed in on 8 games for today.
Yeah, and see, this is a bettor's card. How about you, Rod? How many games are you looking at?
I got 5.
Well, I love Austin P and BYU that I didn't put in my premium pick. So there's 2 of them right out of the gate. We'll get to. I have a bunch more too that I didn't put in premium. But BYU minus 16.5. Portland State, you stink. And the other half of it was Austin P. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nobody else. I haven't heard Governors on. I don't watch any other shows, so I can't say that I haven't. Well, I haven't heard it on any other shows because I haven't watched any other shows. But the Governors, and we've been all over this team, and they have been putting the hammer down, right? I mean, they're slaughtering. What are they, 10-0 in their last 10 at this point? Yeah, 10-0, 9-1 against the number, just how we like them. And I mean, you've heard us say Austin P a ridiculous amount of times. Tennessee State's not bad. They're 8-1 at home, but even at home, they're walking into a buzzsaw here with Austin P coming to town. Yeah. Anyways, Chris, give us a few of those 8 picks.
So I'll split them up. I'll go 4 and 4 for now. I'll start with I'll lay the 3 points with Tulsa against Connecticut. I just think Tulsa's rolling right now, and Connecticut, they're not the team that they were at the beginning of the season.
2-7 in their last 9 for the Huskies.
Yeah, and Tulsa's just been playing insane defense. They just held Wichita State, who was playing pretty well in their own right, up just to 51 points last time out. So I'll lay the 3 with
Tulsa's been really good at home too.
With Tulsa, yeah. My next one, speaking of Wichita State, I'm going to go with Cincinnati plus the 5.5. Wichita's been playing a lot of slower scoring games, and I think that kind of style tends to lend itself to a more physical game, which is right in Cincinnati's wheelhouse, even after Mick Cronin's gone. The Bearcats are still a team that plays pretty good defense, and I think they can sort of keep pace with Wichita State here, keep it within the number.
What about that 2-4 road record, though, for the Bearcats? That doesn't scare you a little bit, 2-4 against the number? I know Wichita, we saw them, we've seen Wichita twice let teams battle their way back into it from like either double-digit or near double-digit leads to get back to that Connecticut game that went to overtime, right? That was about a month ago now. But, we've seen them let them claw their way into. So at 3.5, I liked Wichita a lot better than I like them at 5.5. I don't have a play on that game, but
yeah, I was in the same boat. I was on Wichita if it was around 3.5.
Yeah.
But once it started creeping up to 5.5, I was trying to go towards Cincinnati.
I'm with you.
Because I could see it being like a 64-59 game or something in that ballpark.
Yeah, there's other American Conference games I like better than that one tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I also like Murray State plus 6 against Belmont. I know this is a revenge spot for Belmont, not being at home, but I just think giving up 6 points to a Murray State team that's won their last 10 games maybe too much. I think this is going to be a battle throughout. I think it's going to be a 3-point game.
I mean, I've been watching college basketball for many decades, and I've never seen a team that goes on winning streaks like Murray State does on a regular basis. I mean, every season they seem to have at least a double-digit winning streak. We've seen them have 20 gamers, 22 gamers. They're on a heater right now, and they're getting 6 points. Belmont's going to be sky high, and Belmont did play that tough out-of-conference. So they are definitely prepared. And they are worthy favorite, but 6 points, is a lot. It's a lot of wood to chop. Rod,
the last one I have for this round.
Give us a couple of yours.
I'm with Chris. I like that Tulsa. 6-0 ATS last 6. They're just rolling. Give me Tulsa. There's an early morning game. I'm going to take for IU, whatever that is, from Indiana there. Iwapui? Iwapui?
That's how it's said. The Jags.
Yeah, the Jags. That's what I got rid of it. Just call them the Jags. Green Bay's 4-1 ATS their last 5, and the Jags are 1-6 ATS last 7. Green Bay just playing the better basketball. Give me Green Bay minus 4.5.
Coming off of a big win last time out for Green Bay too.
And I'm also on that Cincinnati. Give me the Cincinnati as well. Wichita just hasn't looked so good their last few games, but they're back at home here. But I think Cincinnati makes it close.
I like St. Mary's minus the 11 against San Diego. Generally, San Diego is a lot better team than people give them credit for because they kind of dismiss them. They think that they're a Division II team, because it's like they don't have a football team that plays Division I. It's like one of those things where they have a football team, but they don't play Division I. It's like, and everyone knows it. It's like a lot of these teams you don't even know they have a football team, like St. John's, right? But it's, in this one, it's like St. Mary's. It's desperation time for the Gales. It's like they're 19-5 on the season, but I mean, who's going to get in from the West Coast Conference? You got Gonzaga, you got BYU, and you got these guys. And I already took BYU today against Portland State, so I can't take, or they're playing Portland. I can't take them twice. So we'll just take St. Mary's here in the blowout conference. I also like Pacific. I did this video against San Francisco. The line's going the other direction. I don't see it. I like Pacific. I think this game is a pick'em, but it's 8.5 points we're getting with Pacific. No idea. Let's get back to NHL. Round it, bring it home. Here's 3 of 3 competitive games and another one with a fairly big line. The Wild versus the Canucks. The Flames against the Predators. The Coyotes against the Hurricane. And Edmonton, San Jose. Chris, what do you think of these 4?
Yeah, for me, the dogs are barking on all 4 of these games. I like Vancouver. I just think they're playing too well. They're not really getting any respect. I know they lost 4-0 to Boston last time out, but Vancouver's still playing really good hockey right now, so I'll take them at plus 110. I'm going to go Nashville at even money against Calgary. Calgary's just not doing the job at home. 3-8 in their last 11 at home, while Nashville's 5-1 in their last 6 on the road. I'll take Nashville. Like Arizona against Carolina. Carolina's lost their last 5 road games, and maybe that win for Arizona over Edmonton was some sort of kick in the butt to sort of get them going. So I'll take Arizona here. And I'll take San Jose plus 145 against Edmonton. That's like I said, Edmonton lost that winnable game against Arizona, not capitalizing on a Coyotes team that lost 5 in a row. San Jose's won their last 4 trips to Edmonton. It's not like they don't play each other off. These guys are division rivals, so I'll take San Jose at plus 145 here.
So we got a few comments here. Someone's asking about Austin P. We gave that pick out already. Someone's asking, says no NBA picks. We did an NBA segment. We thought we did. I don't know. I guess I'm in the twilight zone, man. Maybe did I do this on a different show or something? I'm just not really sure. It's like, oh man, I'm having a rough morning for a Thursday. It's been a rough week, man. It was weird. It was like yesterday I was playing golf. It was Wednesday. I thought it was Friday. Let's get back to college hoops. Kind of bring it home. We got a pretty nice. I like the pacing of today's show. It's just a really nice pace.
Still gotta get Rod's NHL for those last 4.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Rod. Well, no wonder it went so fast. Rod likes all 4 favorites. Let's move on.
No, give me the Canucks. The Canucks have been playing better hockey. I think they bounce back and beat the Wild here. Give me the Canucks on the money line. And Calgary just looking awful. So I'm going to take Nashville on the money line here over Calgary. I'm going the other way. I think Carolina comes into Arizona here and gets a win. Give me Carolina on the puck line. And the Oilers. The Oilers are now off their Alberta Battle of Alberta hangover. They're back at home here, and I think they wake up and beat the Sharks. Give me the Oilers at home on the puck line. I see a 4-2 game there.
I'm going to give out a college basketball parlay. Oh, go ahead. I'm going to go for a college basketball parlay. I know I already gave one out, but I do that kind of on the fly, that parlay, in case you guys didn't know that. And that's why I got to say the results of those parlays have been lousy. I switched to doing from dog of the day to parlays, and I'll explain that in a couple days as to why I did that. But I'll give out a parlay here that at least I put some time and thought into, and this is an easy one. Okay, everyone's always like, I want an easy. This one's easy, or everyone always says that was easy after the game, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, here's an easy parlay. Write it down. Easy parlay. Mitch said easy parlay, and you guys. I know I'm going to get hammered in the YouTube comments if it doesn't come in anyway, but I'm going to say it. Easy parlay. Winthrop minus 15.5 with Charlotte minus 4.5. Bank it. It's a lock.
Okay, never mind. I'm erasing it. I heard the word lock. I'm erasing.
Winthrop 10-0 in their last 10, 8-2 against the number, 16-5 against the number this season, 9-2 straight up at home. Meanwhile, Charlotte 10-1 at home, 8-3 against the number at home. UTEP 1-7 straight up on the road. We've seen Charlotte do some great things at home this season, and beating UTEP, should be a layup for these guys. Winthrop up against Campbell. Winthrop is what they're saying in this last run that they've gone on is we own the Big South. We're going to the tournament from the Big South. We're going to play Kentucky, but we own the Big South. I honestly think that Winthrop gets in, when they get into the NCAA tournament, it's not going to be as a play-in game team or, even as a 16. I think they might make it as a 15. I think a 14, 15. I'll tell you, if I'm like I don't know, in Oklahoma or something, I don't want to see Winthrop on the other end of that court. I don't want to see it. There's a few teams out there that don't want to see Winthrop. There's a few teams like this, right? St. John's. They don't want to see Winthrop. They want no part of that. Let's see. Or Cincinnati, for that matter. Chris, what else you got for us?
So I still have 5 more college. You want me to divide them 3 and 2?
No, just spit them out.
Spit them out? Okay.
Get them out of your system.
I like Georgia State minus 4 against ULL. Georgia State's just been a solid road cover team all season.
They've been one of our teams this season.
Yeah, and I'm not getting off of them here. I like Georgia State laying the 4. I like Eastern Washington plus 2.5 against Montana. Montana's trying to slip a little bit after going on that run to sort of push them to the top of the Big Sky. That team's become Eastern Washington now. They've won 8 straight coming into this one, so I'll take the free points with Eastern Washington. I'm on the Governors as well. Mitch has turned me into a P-lever. I like Austin P laying the 2.5. Yes, I know that was corny. I know. Just let me have it. I like Stanford.
Hey, as long as the ticket cashes, I don't care what you call yourself.
I said this line looked fishy when I wrote the game, but I like Stanford plus the 1.5 against Utah. I just think Stanford's that win against Oregon's going to sort of snap the Cardinal back into it, and I just don't like the way Utah's been playing all conference play. And I know we've only lost once at home this season, but I just don't like Utah, so I'll take the 1.5 with Stanford. And my last game, I like Santa Clara plus 2.5 against Pepperdine. Both of these teams are pretty much identical on offense on the season, but Santa Clara they're giving up 8 fewer points on defense. That to me doesn't equate to Pepperdine being a favorite here, so I'll take Santa Clara plus 2.5.
I like that one too. This is the part of the show where we shamelessly beg for thumbs up on YouTube. We've got 152 people watching and 39 thumbs up. You guys can do better than this. It costs you nothing. It takes about a half a second. But this is that portion of the show where we shamelessly start to beg for the thumbs ups on YouTube. So if you guys can hit the thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated. It helps us a ton. And it's like, we do this for free. We give out more free picks than anybody. I do the most YouTube videos of anybody out there, man. It's not even close. You show me another guy that covered, I mean, you guys saw the games I covered today on YouTube. It was like, it's like I'm doing the YouTube videos, and it's like I have like a list of the games I'm going to do, and then I'll like look at it and I'll be like, all right, I'll throw this one in, just for the heck of it, because it's like, it's like what I tried to do today, where it was like what I called a better's day, in on YouTube, is kind of like if they have 2 winning records, like I'm moving down the schedule. I saw Stanford, Utah, and I was like, well, 2 Pac-12 teams, I'll do that one. But wait a minute, Santa Barbara's playing Hawaii. We never do Santa Barbara, Hawaii. Let's do that. Let's do that one. Throw that one in the mix, and then before you know it, I'm in Pacific against San Francisco, and I figure, well, since I'm in the neighborhood, Southern Utah against Northern Colorado. It's like I just do it. So it's like we don't ask for much, but I'm going to shamelessly beg for you guys to hit the thumbs up. We got anything else?
I got two more college hoops. New Mexico State at Chicago State. Give me New Mexico State here. It's a giant number, but these two teams are totally opposite. One's at the top, one's at the bottom. Chicago State's 0-8. Yeah, give me New Mexico State. New Mexico here. I'll lay the big number. I think they cover that. Probably win by 30 or 40.
Well, here's a juicy favorite, since Rod is in the favorite kind of mood. Here's a juicy one for you that I like, but it's like I'm afraid to give it out. Rod looks frozen. He's unfrozen. Houston minus 16.5 against Tulane. I like this one, but I'm afraid to say it. That Mitch is picking chalk 16.5-point favorites because he already gave out BYU. That's his one that we'll let him go with. But it's like I like, and that's my YouTube audience viewer voice. But I don't know. I like Houston here minus the 16.5 against Tulane, who, I don't know. I know they're 4-2 against the number on the road, but they've played terrible lately. And Houston is this is another team that, I mean, they're going dancing, right? Houston's going, they're in. I mean, they're in.
Yeah.
No one wants to play these guys. Nobody. Oh, yeah. I mean, they might lose. Houston might lose in the NCAA tournament, but they're going to cover. They're going to cover against somebody big.
You got Tulane's 0-5 ATS, their last 5. So I like Houston here today, too. I'll lay the big number there with you. Since it's favorite day.
Another favorite. Surprise, surprise.
And for those of you that missed it, I am shamelessly begging for thumbs up. So if you can hit the thumbs up on YouTube, it's greatly appreciated. Chris, care to grovel at all for some thumbs up, or you want any more picks? I like USC against Arizona also. Someone asked about this one in the questions. I did a video on this one, so I'm not going to dig too deep into this one, but I do like USC against Arizona. I've been on USC all season long, and Arizona, I know they're 15-6, they're in, but I think even at 15-6, to me they're a little disappointing at 15-6. They have a better roster than this. They're just 5-5 in their last 10. I know the Pac-12 is a lot more competitive in it than it's been in recent years, but I expect Arizona to be a 1-2 loss team in conference with the roster that they have. I mean, Sean Miller was on the phone this offseason doing some heavy-duty recruiting. So,
Yeah, there's one game I'm kind of, or two games I'm kind of iffy on, but I'll give them out. I like Detroit plus 12 against Wright State. Wright State just hasn't been covering the number at home. I think the Wright State does win this one, but Detroit's shown some promise lately, and I'll take a shot with Detroit in the big number here. And I also looked at UT Arlington against Appalachian State.
Hopefully it was a quick glance, man, because those two teams.
Yeah, it was, because I wrote the game yesterday, and it was kind of a game I was thinking about just being a pick'em. But I like Arlington. I don't trust App State against the number at home, even though it's only a pick'em. Here, a win is a win is a cover, right? So I mean, I'm not going with App State. 2-7-1 against the number in their last 10. 1-6 against the spread at home this season. I mean, Arlington's covered half of their road games this season, so take a flyer on the Mavericks if you had to pick that game.
Got anything else that we haven't covered on the show that you guys want to expand on?
I'm good.
You guys good? Ready for the recap? Yeah. Anyone that didn't watch my earlier show with Spread Knowledge, our record is up to 52, 26, and 2. So, man, if you've been missing that show or you haven't tried Spread Knowledge, you have missed out big time. Coupon code is Mitch. You get an extra 10% off after your free trial. But 52, 26, and 2. We even had Charles Ornsby on. We asked him all the tough questions. He was in Florida. He was all relaxed until we got to our strict line of questioning. No, we like Charles, and man, that Spread Knowledge has been awesome. Chris, what do you got to say, Reggie Bush? It wasn't my condo.
Yeah, the NHL games I'm going to bet today. I like Pittsburgh plus 150 against Tampa Bay. Florida minus 115 against Vegas. Philly minus 1.5 against New Jersey. Colorado minus 1.5 against Ottawa. St. Louis minus 1.5 against Winnipeg. Vancouver plus 110 against Minnesota. And Nashville and even money against Calgary. A 3-team puck line birdcage. I like Philly, Colorado, and St. Louis. NBA, the only game I'm keying on for today was Milwaukee minus 9 against Philadelphia. And college hoops, I like Tulsa minus 3 against Connecticut. Cincinnati plus 5.5 against Wichita State. Murray State plus 6 against Belmont. Georgia State minus 4 against Louisiana. Eastern Washington plus 2.5 against Montana. Austin P minus 2.5 against Tennessee State. Stanford plus 1.5 against Utah. And Santa Clara plus 2.5 against Pepperdine. A 3-team spread birdcage. I like Georgia State minus 4, Austin P minus 2.5, and Santa Clara plus 2.5.
Rod, what do you got to say?
I'm going to say holy. I really like the hockey birdcage today now, even more, because me and Chris on the...
You guys can't see it, but I'm doing the birdcage hand signal off screen here. Hang on.
We're on the exact same puck line birdcage. I love Flyers, the Avs, and the Blues. Puck line birdcage. I'm on the exact same thing that Chris is. Which usually is a good thing.
Yeah.
When we're on the right, you're opposite. It's one of us wins. On the money line, I'm going to take Florida on the money line. The Canucks on the money line. I like Nashville today over Calgary. Give me Nashville on the money line, and I'm going to bet the Oilers on the puck line. College hoops. All these are laying the number because it's favorite day for me. So I'm going to take Houston, New Mexico, Tulsa, Green Bay, and I'm going to take Cincinnati plus 5.5. NBA, I'm taking the Pelicans, Portland, Orlando, Bucks, Lakers. Three-team birdcage for NBA. I'm taking the Bucks, Portland, and the Lakers.
That's it.
And then I had a little 3-team birdcage that I put together as we were sitting here. Give me Tulsa, Austin P and Houston in college hoops.
Austin P seems to be our key team today, so you could throw that in with my Charlotte and Winthrop parlay that I gave out. I also gave out tons of video picks today. We gave out a lot of picks on this show. I did the Spread Knowledge show. We got free picks on every single game, every single day at pickdogs.com. And for those of you that that missed our earlier show and ask about this stuff all the time, we are going to do a free t-shirt giveaway. It will be in conjunction if you have a current subscription to Spread Knowledge in any time during the month of March, not the free trial, but an actual subscription for a month or more at Spread Knowledge during the month of March. You'll get a free Pick Dogs t-shirt. Also, we'll have it in conjunction with our new premium area, which should be launched by then as well. Let me bring these guys back, as I still haven't made my big announcement yet that I'm going to make, but it's coming. I promise. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. It was a great show once again. I just think the more we get on, with this, I think the more fun we have with it, and it's like I think it shows to our audience. I think we're really onto something here. I have a few other people that we're going to be adding to the mix here. I've been talking to a lot of other people that since I said, hey, anyone want to join our team, email me. But if you have something to bring to the table, let me know. If you just want to join our team and say, I want to give out my picks, you can do that in the Facebook group. You don't need to take up space on our website or our show to do that. But if you have something that you bring, like you can write, you can, whatever, do these videos, you have experience doing these shows or something, you could always use the help. You could use a day off. Not a day off, but you know what I mean? Like a day off from doing the show where it's kind of like I'm a little nervous watching the show. I'm like saying, what the hell's going on in that show without me? They're going to replace me? Am I going to get fired from my own company again? It's like twice in 6 months. It's like I'll be past Steve Jobs. Anyways, Mitch, thanks for joining me, guys. As always, it's a pleasure. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning for Friday. I don't know if we're going to do Free for All Friday or not. I'm down on Free for All Friday. I'll admit. Usually a light card on Friday these days anyway, so I think NBA hits us hard on Fridays. Let me take a quick look at the schedule. Randy always posts the schedule for us behind the scenes in a different document. He's very, very efficient at it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 NBA, 4 NHL, 14 college basketball. Hey, and starting March 26th, Major League Baseball on the way. So lots going on. We got trade deadline. I see Randy and Chris actually filling out their. Chris is on the same sheet that I am. I'll see you on there, Chris. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. I will see you guys tomorrow, or maybe I'll be back this afternoon with Steve Monahan. I haven't talked to him in a while. Have a great day.